Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're going to talk about two former housewives that are no longer on the show, which is Claudia Jordan and Phaedra Parks. So let's get into it. Phaedra Parks did an interview, and basically she dishes the tea on Apollo and her new relationship, and it goes down. So let's get into it. Let's start it off. So Claudia Jordan basically, popped the balloon and told everybody that DJ Capone, or whatever his name is, basically Tony Capone, that was cheating on, Phaedra Parks, because at one point in time, Phaedra Parks was dating Tony Capone and all that other good stuff. And basically Claudia Jordan came out the bush and was like, he ain't no good. He's everybody's, he's out here. He's community property. And then also, this is Tony Capone here too as well. And basically, Claudia Jordan knows him and knows the tea, and she dished it. And basically, Phaedra Parks and Tony Capone are not together anymore. It's over. It's done. But Phaedra Parks, she has a new man, and her new man is Medina Islam. And basically, he look good. He got it going on. Look at that body on that man. I was like, whoa. And then on top of that, this is Phaedra Parks and Medina Islam basically chilling, having a good time, partying and everything. And Phaedra, she makes the blogs. I mean, she's all over the blog. She's on everybody's blog with her new relationship with Medina Islam. I was like, go ahead, Phaedra. You may not be on the show, but you're making headlines. Hopefully, you'll be back on the show pretty soon. You know what? Reach out to Candy, please. Do me a favor and do that. And Phaedra Parks, she's chilling. She's walking along with her man. She's having a good time. He has a nice smile, nice face. Phaedra looks like she's happy. She's smiling in a whole 9 yards. So I was just like, go ahead, Phaedra. Do your thing, girl. I'm happy for you. Hope this is a real relationship too as well. But it might be, because it doesn't seem like Medina Islam is for that fake stuff. But also, we haven't heard from him in a while, because he was in hip-hop and he was a actor, and it still is an actor. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see him that much. That's just me. I don't see him. Maybe y'all see him, but I don't. So moving on from that situation, then we get the story about Apollo. Apollo returned back to jail. He got locked up. He was released early for good behavior, good program, whatever. So he was released to a halfway house, and 9 days later he ended up going back to jail. He ended up going back to prison, and allegedly the tea is from Michelle Brown is that, Apollo basically was having a conversation and talking to a felon, somebody with a criminal record. And so that's why he was violated and he was sent back to prison, and he won't be back out until October. So that's the situation with that. If Apollo was still out, I believe there was a big, huge chance that, Phaedra Parks would be back on the show. And she might have either been with Medina Islam, or she could have been with Tony Capone. But right now it seems like she's really head over heels with Medina Islam. So I was just like, hey, do your thing. It's all good. But, we also find out that Claudia Jordan, she used to date Medina Islam back in 2016, and they had a real love affair. They had a real relationship, and they was close and tight. And now Phaedra's with her man, and we already know Phaedra and Claudia Jordan don't get along. They really don't like each other, and it stems back from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They're just not each other's cup of tea. Anyways, and then on top of that, Claudia Jordan, she is close to Kenya Moore, and we already know that Phaedra Parks and Kenya Moore are not friends. They're not cool. They don't talk. They don't like each other. It is what it is. That's that situation. So Claudia Jordan does not really like Phaedra Parks at all, and Phaedra Parks don't really like Claudia Jordan, but it is what it is. But Claudia Jordan, ex-man, is with, somebody that she don't like. But I know Claudia Jordan ain't really worried about the situation, but she probably think it was a dab, or, it was a tactic or something with Phaedra Parks getting with her ex just to shove it in her face, because her Phaedra Parks and Claudia Jordan don't get along, and they don't have a good relationship. So you guys tell me what you think about that situation. I was like, okay, Phaedra Parks, you know what? She got to be happy. She got to be satisfied whether or not he used to be your ex-man or not. She's with him and she likes him and he looks good. And, it is what it is. But we're going to see what transpires between Phaedra Parks and Claudia Jordan, because Claudia Jordan's on the radio. I know she's going to say something. And I know Phaedra going to say something too. But not right away, because basically they're still filming for Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I don't know if Phaedra Parks has a chance to be on the show. I'm just like, damn, Phaedra Parks, you need to call Candy and her people and make it right. So let's get into Medina Islam. Let's talk about his situation. So Medina Islam, He's a rapper. He was a rapper. He was an actor, and he used to write rhymes for a lot of people that was in hip hop. All the big upcoming artists. He used to write music for them and stuff like that. And they used to call him the $6 million man. I don't know if that's positive, negative. Some people told me that was negative. And they used to call him 6 Milli. And then on top of that, he was a ghostwriter, and he contributed to several of the top platinum selling artists. Albums of them going platinum because he was writing their lyrics. He was a ghostwriter, so it's never been revealed who he ghostwrited for, or if it is, I just don't know right now at this time and point. But he did have a rough upbringing. He was also on the Haves and Have Nots, and he also was on the own network too as well. And he's from New Jersey, and he's a rapper turned actor, and it is what it is. And basically, he had a hard life. He struggled. He did with adversity, and his mother had schizophrenia, and basically, she tried to sell him, his brother, and basically his mother abandoned him and his brother, and he was homeless and all types of stuff like that. So he went through it all, and then he ended up getting into the street gang, and he ended up selling a little here, selling a little there, getting involved in the negative part of lifestyle, because that was the closest way that he can actually obtain some money and some power and some respect. But he ended up turning around, changing his life around. He did a little stunt in jail, but a little stunt in prison, and then after that he left that alone, and then he went to Job Corps. Then he moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and then on top of that he was accepted into Morris Brown College, and he went from homeless, thug, to college, to rapper, to actor. Now he's dating Phaedra Parks. So that's his story, and that is what it is with that situation. I was like, okay, Phaedra Parks, she got it all in one. She got a guy that's a thug, used to be a thug, but he has the tendencies, and basically he's a hustler, and he still has the hustler tendencies too as well. Then on top of that, he's Muslim, and he was Christian, but he reverted to Islam, and so he's got some religious background too as well, and two religions, Christianity and Islam. And so, Phaedra, she's a religious person too as well. And she like the guys that are rough around the edges, a shell that's hard to crack. And then on top of that, he's intelligent. He went to college. He graduated. He's an actor. So he's basically up on, Phaedra Parks' level too as well, where he has something to bring to the relationship too as well. Because, Phaedra Parks, she's a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer, and she has all of the multiple businesses going on and all that other good stuff. So it's all good. And she got a man that has everything. He could be on the dark side, he can be on the light side. He knows when to transform from polite guy to street guy. So, and then on top of that, he's an actor too as well, and he used to write music for tons of celebrities. That he was a ghostwriter, so he probably still receiving some residuals from that. He's probably still receiving some money from that too as well, and he's an actor, so it's all good. So I think he is a good match. It sounds like he can fit the profile of Phaedra Parks. She has a nice body, he has a nice body, he has beautiful skin, she has beautiful skin, so it's all good. So we'll see where the situation goes. Also, Phaedra Park is a decade older than him too as well. She's way older than him, but you know what? He's been through so much. I don't know if he's looking for a mama figure, but I think he surpassed that, looking for a mother figure, because he went to Islam and stuff like that. So he probably got his whole life together and his self together, where he was able to calm his insides and everything that happened to him as a child, and able to get rid of the generational curse by moving on and going to college, becoming a famous ghostwriter and an actor too as well. So I think he's a good look too. So we get on to Phaedra Parks. Phaedra Parks was stopping by, doing interviews and everything with people. And basically, Phaedra Parks, she threw Apollo under the bus, saying that, he was a criminal when she met him, but he said he was going to turn around and change his ways and be a better guy. And she believed him, and she married him. She had a kid with him and all of the other good stuff. And she was hoping that he would stay clean, but he kept a secret life from her. And she didn't know that he was out here doing things under the table. And he had no reason to do these things under the table. He had no reason to be doing criminal activity, because he had a big old house in Buckhead. He had money, he had cars. There was no reason for him to go back to the criminal lifestyle. And then some people say that he was the one making sure that Phaedra Parks and their family looked like they had money on the show, because he was out here hustling, making sure they can go from mansion to mansion, car to car. But Phaedra Parks said, no, that's not true. Everything was already taken care of. He didn't have to do anything but just stay crime free. And a lot of people believe that Phaedra Parks was involved in Apollo criminal activities. There's a lady that came out that wrote a book about Phaedra Parks. So it's up to you to believe whoever you want to believe with that situation. The lady with the book, A Phaedra Parks Story. So Phaedra Parks, she continues on, basically saying that she was so shocked. She didn't know that Apollo was getting out, and she said she didn't know he was getting out until he FaceTimed her in a car. Her and her two sons were basically looking at the phone and looking at the environment and the surroundings, and they noticed that Apollo was in a car, and they can see the street, they can see sunlight, and they was like, oh my God, he's really out. And then on top of that, 9 days later, Apollo was returned back to prison, to finish off his bid. And she said she's not surprised by it because, he can't change. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, and she tried to teach him some new tricks, but he wasn't down for it. So hopefully, Medina Islam is down for the new tricks, baby. So we'll see what goes on in that situation. But Phaedra Parks was like, baby, I done got a new man and I moved on. And sorry, Claudia Jordan, he's your ex-man. He's with me now. And Claudia Jordan's probably like, whatever, you got my leftovers. But we'll see. These two ladies will be catty in the internet streets and social media streets. So we'll be checking that out. So what do you guys think about Phaedra Parks' new man? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's serious? Or do you just not care? Peace. I'm out. One love to all my peeps and my peoples. Please hit that like button.